and I'm not complaining at all. I guess I'm just
like
really surprised.
Yeah.
Stop complaining, Clark.
And maybe if they had made this a little better. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
It smells like
home,
regular
home,
Bourbon
Clark.
County to me.
Go to the
Right?
neighbor's
Go
house.
next door.
Go home.
This week, we sampled 3 variants of the Goose Island 2022 Bourbon County lineup. This is episode 98 of the Malting Hour.
What's the haps on the hops? Got yeast, that's beast. This the Molten Hour where we talk about our drink and tell you what we think every other week. And if we get drunk, well, we might slur our speech. Got the gift of gab, the friends you wish you had. Join us for a drink, join us for a laugh. Time is never wasted, where you getting wasted. The Molten Hour here, people take your places. People take your places. People take your home.
Welcome to the Malting Hour. I am one of your hosts, Tony Golick, joined always with,
Brandon Winninger.
and to my left,
Clark Fettridge.
hey guys, how's it going?
Great.
Good. Happy week of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy week of Thanksgiving. It's great to be at Brandon's house.
Oh, it's not Thanksgiving.
I know, but not his neighbor's house.
Oh, right.
I went to the wrong studio.
Yes, they have their own podcast.
That was
That's the real Malting Hour
Like,
studio.
the studio's dark. I'm like, the lights are on. Like,
Well, don't go to Brandon's neighbor's house because they won't let you in.
Correct.
they will not. They will not.
And sometimes the dog's out there.
Yeah, that's what I was like, dude. If that dog would have been out, she would have went nuts.
Merry Christmas.
Well, it is the week of Thanksgiving, and that means only one thing in Chicago.
Turkey.
The Thanksgiving Day Parade, Macy's, downtown Chicago, where it's always been for the past 75 years.
And what I said right before we had to find Clark was, why is there? What parade was there? Was a holiday parade going on downtown today?
Well, it's an actual parade or
Yeah.
the Michigan City, the lights,
But there was a parade, and there was like video on
floats
it.
and everything.
I don't know. I just saw kids dancing in the street with
lovely.
batons and stuff. And like,
Maybe it was just like kids hanging out, you know?
it was a riot.
I mean, it is Chicago.
And they just, you just wear red and green and throw, batons in the air, and everyone's like, cool.
That sounds fun. We should do that. Anyways, it's Bourbon County week here in Chicago, and what better time for us to crack open some of the 2022 Bourbon Counties we received from Goose Island. Thank you very much, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Then this week. So hopefully, you guys all, well, you'll probably all, if you're in Chicago, you're probably getting some, especially if you're listening to this. Even with all the lotteries that are out there, it is becoming, I would say, a little easier to get almost all the variants of Bourbon County. And if it's anything like last year, I would expect just about any variant to be available at most stores on Friday.
Agreed.
Yeah, I've promised myself I'm not going to stock up too much this year.
I'm only going to get 2 lots of each.
Just the one, I hope. And then I'm not going to go too crazy on all the variants. I overloaded the past 4 or 5 years, and I'm still sitting on some cola. I'm still sitting on some 14. Yeah. I'm still sitting on
the Dock of the Bay.
What's the Cafe Oya?
Ooh,
yeah.
Really? You still sitting on
That one I'm actually sort of looking forward to. But
well, help, I'll come by and help you drink. So
okay, fine.
Go see a Crash Test Dummy show afterwards.
Nothing better.
All right. Well, we lucked out here. We got 3 variants from Goose Island, and the 3 we got are the 30th anniversary, which Clark, I don't know if you have. I know you're having internet problems here.
Working on it.
That's okay. We also got the 2-year aged barley wine, which is in Old Fitzgerald barrels, and then the other variant that has adjuncts in it is the Biscotti. We did not get to the Sir Isaac's, which is the... Or prop, which... This is probably the first year where I'm like...
I've heard good things. I've heard
good things. I'm nervous about me getting prop.
Yeah.
Because I didn't...
Oh, as far as obtaining
it.
Yeah.
Like, depending on how these are, depend on what I'm going to get. That's what I was talking about with Brandon before you went to the neighbor's yard. I'm going to use this episode to kind of help me figure out whether or not I need to get any of these 3. And I'm pretty sure I will.
It'll be interesting to find out. Although I've heard good things about prop, so I'm actually more looking forward to it than I was when they announced it. But shall we dive into that? That first one.
Let's do it. Not the actual. I mean, we're sipping on a 2020 Bourbon County as well. But the first one we're going to do is the Clark, why don't you?
Goose Island Bourbon County 2-year barley wine reserve.
Reserve. Forgot that part.
They worked with their friends at Old Fitzgerald to obtain 3 exceptional sets of barrels of varying ages from the distillery's Old Fitzgerald bottled in bond decanter series. Aged in 14, 16, and 17-year-old barrels of an amazing bourbon pedigree, bringing back our classic English-style barley wine for the first time since 2018, which I want to say cheers to.
Cheers.
I've missed barley wine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell them listening what it's supposed to taste like.
Yeah, I already have an idea of what. I took a sip. And Brandon, you stored these here in your basement, which is a comfortable, what would you say, temperature? Like right by the window. It's got to be like 50?
Yeah. Well, by the window, it's a little cooler. That's why I put it by the window. But the overall temperature around here stays about 65 most.
Yeah, and so by the window, it cools down a little bit. I'd say that it's a little under room temperature, but I think it's a really good temperature, especially for this. What are you guys getting from this? Now, real quick, we did have a chance to try this at Fobab a few weeks back.
I don't even count that.
I don't remember. I mean, I remember it, but I don't remember it. It was, to me, I was like, it's a dry barrel-aged barley wine. All right, now I'm getting completely different notes of things.
It's not as sweet as many barley wines that I usually have, especially Bourbon County for years past.
I agree with that.
There's some heat.
Yeah, it is. I'm getting... Brandon, were you about to say something? Sorry.
No, I was... Clark mentioned the heat, and I'm getting that pretty prominently. And surprisingly, I feel like I'm getting some notes of chocolate, like a lot more chocolate than I would expect, but not in a bad way whatsoever.
My first sip, I got like a strong taste of like vanilla, almost like
vanilla extract.
No, like almost like a vanilla-y marshmallow.
Okay.
Like, oh, hello, hey.
And that's the key word of the day. Vanilla-y marshmallow.
Whee! And that's, to me, really, really surprising and very, very nice. Like, she wants them. She definitely wants them.
Those all aren't words of the
day. It was something I wasn't expecting, and to be honest, if I was just going to judge the barley wine based off of what I had at Fobab, I wasn't like super excited about it. I mean, I was happy, barley wine, but I wasn't like, ooh, I got to go out and try it. Now having this, I'm like, because I'm also like going out Friday. I'm like, I'm not going to buy every single one of them. Yeah. I know regular Bourbon County I don't necessarily have to grab that right away. There's a couple of variants that I want to get, but this 2-year barley wine right now, probably. This is really good. Like I really like that vanilla marshmallowy type. And Brandon, you said chocolate, so maybe I kind of get some of that too. But.
That's the funny thing. I feel like we're all picking up different things. I'm getting, it's not very much, but it's a tiny hint of almond, like that almond extract that they've done before. But that's just coming from the barrels, apparently, somehow.
This is a lot going on. The fact that all three of us were able to pick up different things. And I don't know about I said yes with the almond just because I wanted to be nice. I don't know if I get the almond. After I said it,
it's very subtle, but that's funny because I'm not getting as much vanilla. So clearly we're all kind of having
I feel like I am getting
here.
a little bit of that almond. Like if I think about it and I'm taking a sip.
It's very tasty, man. It's and I like the how it's not very sweet. A lot of barley wines can come off almost like too sweet, like cloyingly sweet. I have a coworker who does not like barley wines, and I think this actually would be a barley wine he would enjoy. And KG, Kevin Goggin, would also thoroughly enjoy this. He, I think it was last year or a year before that, he discovered barley wines. He didn't know much about them, and he's like, oh my God, barley wines are so good. And I think it was a barrel-aged one too, so anytime I can get my hand on like a barley wine, I'm always like, I want him to try it because he hasn't had
He
many
actually
of them.
enjoys it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, barley wines could almost come, I sometimes can come off very raisiny like a Belgian quad.
Yes.
I don't get that from this.
Yeah, and what was the beer that Myke had brewed for his wedding?
I believe
was it
was
a quad?
It was a quad.
And but I remember having it and I was like, this is very barley wine-esque.
Yeah, exactly. Because, it teeters on that, that fine line between the two, and the yeast, I think, is what makes up... changes that, but she's back, baby. But for an English barley wine, this is really good, and the heat on there as well, like you guys said, it's there, and I dig it.
Yeah, you're right. It does remind me of a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of barrel going on, but the few non-barrel aged barley wines that I have had, it kind of reminds me of this a little bit bitter in there. I mean, I had a straight jacket last night. 2022. I mean, that's a completely different beer than this.
Yeah,
And good. I mean,
Revolutions.
they're both great in their own right, but this is ratcheted up a notch. I want to say,
Yeah, it's,
with a sweetness obviously way toned down compared to Straight Jacket.
I would say Straight Jacket has a nice sweetness to
sure.
it. Like that is a sweet beer. That's a good like 12-ounce beer to split with like one or two people. One or two other people, not just yourself.
One or two people.
It's a good beer to split with yourself.
Split with myself,
Yeah. I had this. This is great.
Pour it into 2 glasses.
Split with Tony and Anthony. Yeah, overall, I got to say that coming back to barley wines, Goose Island nailed it on this one. It's really good. Just so you guys know, I'm not like wincing at you. My left eye is really
Still got your eye
stuff. Still bothering me. Allergies. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, it's 20 degrees. Come on, isn't that supposed to go away?
You'd think so. Maybe it's the kittens I have.
I was gonna say, are you allergic to cats?
Uh-oh.
No, it just started today, and I've spent more time with the cats earlier in the week than I did
And
yesterday.
congratulations, by the way.
Thank you
on
very
your
much.
2 new family members.
2 new family members, Louise, parentheses, Pop-Tart, and Judith. Judith Grimes Goltucci.
I love that name. Any story behind
Nice.
those names?
Judith is named after Judith from The Walking Dead. As you know, if you're listening to this, The Walking Dead has ended as of yesterday.
Finally. Oh.
It's done.
It's
to hear.
really
It's done. That was it.
Thank
the finale
fucking
was
God.
Wait, hey, whoa.
Off the air, you can tell me what happened. No spoilers.
I'll tell you
for
right
the
now.
listeners.
This is what happened. I don't know because we're recording this the day before.
Oh, well.
And then Louise. I want to say Luis, but it's Louise. This is the name. We were gonna like Josephine and
Not Lewis.
no. Well, if he was a boy, yes, I would say Lewis. But Pop-Tart also came in because we were trying to find like random names to give her. Like we were driving to pick them up because we adopted them after they were fostered. And as we were getting home, I said, "What about Pop-Tart?" We all like kind of laughed and thought it was kind of funny. And I was the only one calling her Pop-Tart for 2 days. And they were like, "Yeah, we stuck with Louise." And I was like, "Oh, okay." By us, I mean my wife and my daughter. So thanks a lot, guys.
I always find it kind of funny when like animals have like semi-normal names.
Like human names. When we went to
Yeah.
a shelter, there was a little white kitten named Brad.
Well, my brother's dog is Walter.
Walter. You know, Facebook better stop suggesting your brother as a friend to me. And, you know,
I thought you guys were already friends. It's,
well, we just text each other. We don't even be
Go to
Facebook
Hawks
friends.
game.
Oh, he
Get
started
on,
showing up on my thing too. I was like,
That's true. He's trying to get in to the neighbor's house.
Overall, I would say that this barley wine, well, you know, I'm going to rate it. I'm still do the rating system on this. If I had to check this in right now,
How many
right
barrels?
here, right now,
How many barrels?
I'm going to give it 4.45 barrels. No, fuck that. 4.5 barrels. 4.5 barrels. I like it. Out of 5.
4.2 for me right now. I am interested in hoping to acquire one more that I probably will hold on to for at least 6 months.
At
I'm
least
interested
6
to see how
days.
this ages in the bottle.
don't worry, we can drink mine because they're surely gonna sit there for God
I was
knows
gonna
how
say,
That's a
long.
great point. 7 years from now, we'll be gathered around the bar.
Just what you gotta do is just buy another one, and then we'll all just drink it together again. And I'll buy something else. We'll all just drink it together.
Great.
Just gonna drink all these beers together. Brandon, how many barrels would you give this one?
I'm at 4.5 too. I do
4.5, 2, like 4.52 or TO?
4.5 as well.
Ah, excellent.
4.52.
I'm sorry, I'm a moron.
That's how you say 4.52. 4.5, 2.
I'm gonna start saying that.
I do enjoy this. And I'm not getting that half point off. Just kind of for the mouthfeel. I wish
point.
it was a little bit thicker.
I think that comes with
Had
the
a
English.
little more body. And I know
Sorry,
the English barley wines are typically thinner. But barley wine styles, I do like ones that have just a little bit more.
So don't make it an English barley wine next time. Just make it a regular fucking American
But
barley
what's
wine.
nice about it though is it just, or maybe not nice, it makes it kind of really easy drinking. Like
Yes, I am almost
Oh,
done
yeah,
with
it's
my...
going down real quickly.
Yeah, and again, I mean, it's at a nice temperature. It's not super cold. That's the other thing I would like to try with this. To grab a bottle of it and get it cold, and then let it sit like one evening and let it kind of just gradually
Yeah, kind of get
warm up.
a little bit of everything
That
as
is a
far
fun-
as temperature goes.
Absolutely, that's a fun thing to do with barrel aged beers or any big beers that have adjuncts in it. If you want to, start when it's cold and, slowly work your way up to warming up because you'll get different layers and be able to taste
And
different things.
or a bottle of Old Fitzgerald like we did with Blanton's last year, which really actually helped me understand the beer a little bit more.
Did you bring a bottle of Old Fitzgerald with you?
I left it outside
At the neighbor's
house.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
well,
I said, "Oh, sorry, here
As a-
you go."
it's a gift from your neighbor, Brandon.
Yeah, he told me to bring this over.
Please don't let your dog out.
Yeah, thank you for not killing me.
All right, so I think we're on par with that. We all enjoyed it. Goose, good job. Thanks for bringing back barley wine, and sweet idea with doing the 2-year Fitzgerald there.
Yeah, and I will actually say I don't know if I've ever really had Old Fitzgerald.
I believe I have.
I don't
But I'm
know.
not-
What do you got over there?
He doesn't have a bottle. He's got other stuff that we've had barrel aged beer.
Man,
from,
that
but
last
not-
sip I took was very. It tasted like hard liquor almost in a really good way.
It's kind of funny because you had mentioned like wanting to have the bottle to
Yeah.
like compare, and we were joking around about it. And I took my last gulp, and I was like, it made me think of when
Boozy.
we last year with the what was it? The
Blanton's.
Blanton's. Yes, thank you. My brain. All right, well. Why don't we move on to the next beer? Brandon, you're a real champ. Not only do you host this show and you
Cat wrangling.
you do all the producing and stuff and pouring beers, supplying a lot of beers, recording, and now you're also wrangling Aggie, who will not let you put her down. Clark, what are we drinking?
I think we're drinking Goose Island
you're
Bourbon
correct.
County 30th Anniversary Reserve Stout. We created a special 30th Anniversary Stout to pay homage to the serendipitous union between Gregory Hall and Booker Noe that led to subsequent years' variants and traditions. What are we working with here? It's aged from a blend of Jim Beam barrels from their small batch bourbon collection. Each of the remarkable bourbon barrels offer characteristics unique to each bourbon's distinct nuances. They are then blended together. They first launched their first ever small batch bourbon collection 30 years ago. So,
Didn't know that.
a lot more to say, but I don't think we need to say it.
Go online and look it up.
Wow.
Yeah. So these were, you're saying these were aged in Jim Beam small batch bourbon barrels. That's correct?
I think they're all
Right?
from the Jim Beam family.
The Jim Beam family of some
Yes.
sort. Yeah. Okay.
Jim Beam family, that's a perfect way to say it.
Which is funny because I'm almost positive had I not known that and just said 30th anniversary and I took a sip, I would have been like, reminds me of Jim Beam.
But not in a bad way.
No. And I'm saying that as someone who I like Jim Beam. And the Jim Beam family is, the other bourbons that are associated with it. Excuse me, burp. Yeah, that was good. This to me is the perfect temperature for this because just like the Blantons, I'm getting like straight barrel.
Yep.
Like it's like Bourbon County and barrel bourbon. And the bourbon in my head, I there's a sweetness to it that I associate with Jim Beam. And we literally for Halloween we had the handle of Jim Beam and it's sitting there. But I'm always like, oh well, that's a perfect I want a simple cocktail. It's not a bourbon I'm necessarily sitting and sipping on. I'm using it to make a cocktail of some sort.
Yeah, I need to do that.
I just drink my bourbon straight with Tony on a Saturday night.
No, Jim. I went down to Jim Beam.
Hey, those old-fashioned cubes are awesome.
Dude, those were fantastic.
Oh, those a little freezer one?
Yeah.
Yeah. my
We
dad
did it
gave me
last
some.
weekend, man. It was
Daddy gave me some of those for Christmas last year.
You should use
So
them.
my
Or
wife
did
gave
you?
me some for Christmas.
A little aside.
Nobody gave them to me. For
Speaking
Christmas.
of old fashioned, Central Waters has an old fashioned beer now, and then one of you sent through another.
That was me. That was me. I sent you the other one, and I don't remember
But
who
who
it
was that? So
I
we
don't
could
know.
have a whole old fashioned style beer episode.
I mean, Christmas beers are right around the corner. We gotta look at that.
I want Bells to make
I
that
know.
beer.
If they come through, man, we got 3 to
That'll be
try
great.
and
The old-fashioned episode. But that's not what we're talking about. Well, it is.
It's always what we're talking about.
Clark, let's get your take on this. Cause
So this is, I was not expecting it to taste like this. I guess I was expecting more of a double barrel sweetness. This is not sweet at all.
No.
And I'm not complaining at all. I guess I'm kind of, I'm
like
just
you're
really
complaining.
surprised.
Yeah.
Stop complaining, Clark.
And maybe if they had made this a little better. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
It's fun. It smells like
home-
regular
home,
Bourbon
Clark.
County to me.
Go to the
Right?
neighbor's
Go
house.
next door.
Go home to your next door neighbor.
But it smells
Yeah,
sweeter
tell
than
Yeah.
it tastes.
It smells like regular Bourbon County.
It smells like regular Bourbon.
Burkham.
God.
Yeah.
Brooklyn County.
By the way, Clark claims he drank nothing else before
Nothing.
coming here.
Nothing at all.
I don't believe him. Except for that water, it's probably just straight
But
black.
after how many times of coming into my basement, he walked into the wrong yard.
This is.
Yikes.
I'm
gonna need more time with this.
You know what sucks is that I was hoping one of these I wasn't going to like. I was hoping
Because it's just making you want to buy more of
I
them.
want both of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy both of them. I'm gonna try and find both of them. God, I really wanted one of these not to be good, but they're really good. And the same thing, like I said with the barley wine, is that with this 30th anniversary, imagine starting this cold. Oh, Brandon, you okay? You can be right over there. I know. I'm just making sure. Just making sure you're okay. I starting with this cold and then like sitting there and letting it like warm up to get all the different layers of it, I think is going to be really, really fun with this beer.
Yeah, funnily enough, I had a brief thought of dropping them in the fridge for a little bit and then pulling them. And then I decided that, or my brain decided that it wasn't going to let me remember to do
I think
that.
that's the same thing.
So,
My brain, that is.
in layman's terms, I forgot. So I didn't do it.
Perfect.
Works fine.
So Brandon, are you gonna mention the tag?
No. Oh. So,
I'll guess.
So no, I wanted to make that point. So the 30th anniversary, there's different blends available.
From what we've heard, there are different blends.
And just based on the way this tag is written, it just leads me to believe that would be 100% true. So, if that is the case, so let's talk about what we have. So our bottle is 36% Booker's Bourbon Barrels, 33% Knob Creek, 17% Basil Hayden,
Huzzah.
and 14% Baker's.
That sounds good. I would make 100% drink with that
So you're saying next episode we're gonna take all of those
and make a drink.
and see if it tastes like this.
Absolutely, it will.
Probably would actually.
Put a little chocolate in there. A little
I
splash
would
vanilla.
be curious if you like just blending the bourbons like
How
that.
they would all taste.
Yeah.
I mean, you got some Basil Hayden at least. You got that going for you.
Yeah, what else?
Completely off topic. I think it was a TikTok that I saw.
Classic.
There was a guy that has kind of like this the bourbon little decanter thing that I have, and he calls it like his never-ending bourbon. And what he does is every time he buys a bottle of bourbon, no matter what it is, he pours it in there. He pours a little bit in, pours a little bit, and always has a blend that just continually keeps going.
That's kind of fun.
Changes as you put whatever the new.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Fun.
I'm gonna do that with beer. IPAs, cream ale, barley wine,
A little pumpkin in there.
Some sour.
yeah, lambic, westy.
It might work.
All right, so how many barrels are you gonna give this one, Brandon?
5.
5 barrels.
5,
Whoa,
dude.
shit! Just like straight 5.
5.
That was like you didn't even stop and
Nope.
think about that.
No, I really, really like this. And I'm curious, as like we said, to try it chilled more and as it warms up. Because right now it's amazing, I think. And I feel like we'd get some... I don't know if it would lose anything being colder, but I'd just be curious to see how it changes in the whole progression.
I'd like to know how like the and also we should mention I'm not getting a lot of heat off of it. Not as much as the barley wine, I should say. But I don't get a whole lot of heat off of this.
Yeah, it's a little bit, not too much.
I'm not sure if this makes any sense, but I'm not prepared to rate this one.
No, that's okay.
Does that sound weird?
Sure.
Like
no.
I thoroughly enjoy it. I need more time with it, honestly.
Would you? Okay, how about this? At this moment, which no one's going to hold you to it.
At this moment?
Yeah. Would I buy this beer again?
Oh, of course I'd buy this
No,
beer
I'm just
again.
joking.
Ding. I give
this-
it a
just
4-3.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. You don't have to explain it.
No, I want to.
Okay, please.
I think I will get there to closer to 5, but I need more time to understand it. There's a lot going on here, and I can't quite put my tongue on.
I am really curious. What I would love is if we all go out and get this. I mean, I already bought my bottle. But if we all find that, like, if we get different blends, I would love to do a side by side.
Actually, that would be kind of fun to see if we can pick up nuances. So maybe we'll all check in on Black Friday.
If you see it, buy it.
Done. That for sure. I mean, I have a feeling. Actually, I don't have. I was going to say, like, oh, I'm sure these will be sitting around, but there are certain ones that last year sat around that I thought those are going to go, and they sat around. And then these, I'm like, maybe they'll sit around. They're going to go. These two variants, for sure, will not be sitting on the shelf. And if they are, it'll just be through the weekend, and then they'll be gone. I think I understand.
It's the out-of-towners that come in and they steal all the bourbon.
Oh, a cool box.
Fucking out of
And then you got these guys, I'm like, I live in New Mexico. Look at all this prop I got. I'm like, fuck yourself.
Enjoy the strawberry.
Yeah, fuck yourself. In
Well, I do
Mexico.
now, but-
yeah, it's good now. I am
Give me
going.
some green chilies.
I agree. Yeah, we'll trade your prop for green chilies. Clark, I understand why you're saying what you're saying. There is a lot going on here. If I'm shooting from the hip, I'm going to go 4.75 on this, maybe even 4.8. It's not that it's lacking anything to make it a full 5. I just I wish it was a little colder for me to get maybe something else from it. I would like to have this one from cold to room temperature. And
The lamp agrees.
thank you, Rare Lamp. Brandon just turned a lamp on right next to me. That was kind of creepy. Oh, went off again. It's very good, and I think that it's only going to get better when I try it again. So
Totally
it would be nice to see the other. If we do have different barrel blends, maybe give that.
Yeah,
a try.
definitely hold on to that
Yep.
tag, and then we can compare
and share.
and then blend our blends. Ooh. Triple blend.
And then I would be like curious to kind of go back and revisit other one. Like, so this one aging, I would be curious to see how it develops.
All right,
Which,
so everybody buy 2.
which makes me then like, what I want to do is I want to go back to Blanton's.
Oh, that's right. You have. Oh, that's right.
We do that. Have that, and then do
How many? Don't you have like 2 or 3 Blantons left?
Right, possibly.
I drank my last one in the summer. It was fantastic.
Thanks for the invite.
You're welcome.
No, I mean you invited me, and I said absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
Not
I'm
interested.
saying it,
All right. Granted, we only got one more variant left, but this is a lot of Bourbon County. Let's take a quick. Let's take a quick break.
Let's go to the neighbors.
And we're back.
We are back. Welcome back.
Here we are.
Here we are. Just a couple guys hanging out, drinking 2022 Bourbon Counties.
Goose beers.
Bourbon County Goose beers. And up next is
The wonderful beer that they call Biscotti Stout.
yeah. Tell us a little bit about that, Clark.
Well, at Goose Island, they believe ideas and inspiration can come from anyone in the Goose family, and our Biscotti Stout is a perfect example that came from our very own HR team. Tony, what does HR stand for?
Human resources.
Thank you. Inspired by the Italian desserts of her childhood, Jill...
Back that up. Restart that sentence.
Sorry. Inspired by the Italian desserts of her childhood,
Comma.
Jill, people manager at Goose Island,
Sorry.
dreamed up this variant after grabbing a box of chocolate-dipped biscotti from her cabinet. Working with the brewing team, Jill brought the flavor to life with notes of anise, marzipan, cocoa,
I was right.
and buttered toffee. The biscotti enhances flavors already found in our Bourbon County Stout and adds strong notes of nostalgia from your Italian grandma's kitchen.
Mamma mia. That's my grandma's kitchen.
And that,
I thought that was your audition for the Mario voice. Sorry.
That's a me, Mario.
and that, I was right when I smelled. I was like, I
It-
smell
it-
anise.
It really it smells like fucking biscotti.
But I guess that's kind of like the biscotti.
If I didn't know, like my first, which is funny because I knew it was a biscotti.
You're saying if it was a mystery beer.
If it was a mystery beer, the first thing I would have said was like fudgy cookie, fudgy brownie, like a fudgy bake thing. Now, like, and that's what I got from it. Even before, I mean, like I already knew it was biscotti, but I took a smell and I was like, "Ooh, it kind of smells fudgy." But now it is straight up fucking biscotti cookie aroma. I'm looking forward to trying this.
Now, I think last year I said, why do cola? That's stupid.
Okay.
This year I say, why do biscotti? That tastes good.
A lot of people have talked about the star anise being very strong. Nope. I get fucking cookie. Like, almost teetering on like sugar cookie without the sweetness.
Yes.
Like, this might be, oh man. I really like this one. This, I almost wish was just a little bit colder, and I fucking wish I hated this because now there's 4 that I have to buy on Friday.
I feel like I won't, once I get through about 10 ounces of this, my appreciation for it will start to slow down because it is sweet.
Look, definitely.
There's some chocolate in there that reminds me of the prop where it was all chocolate. I don't know, maybe they're using the same kind of chocolate from that one. But no, this is quite good.
Maybe my palate is a little rough around the edges from, I haven't rinsed it since we've had all these other ones. I have been sipping on also the 2020 regular Bourbon County. I'm not finding it super sweet. I'm actually picking up on like the like dark cocoa kind of chocolate notes on this. There's a little bit of sweetness to it. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's dry or anything. There's a sweetness to it. But for me, this is like the right amount of adjunct flavor that I want in something that's like, oh, it's called biscotti. And it tastes like a chocolate covered biscotti. And being Italian, Sicilian specifically, I did have biscotti cookies like when I was a kid growing up. So
and then you got older and you couldn't have them.
I stopped buying them. I stopped buying them because just in case of diabetes.
No, there's a fudginess to this that's what I'm getting at least.
Yeah. So were they going for like biscotti cookie or like a chocolate covered biscotti?
From what the description, I think
Sounds
it was
like
like a chocolate covered
yeah.
biscotti.
Yeah, because I am it's like you said, it's sweet. I don't know, it's bordering on like really sweet versus just like, yeah.
Wow, that's funny.
But the chocolate is prominent, but not so much that like the anise or anything like that is overpowered. I feel like it's blended so well. It really works well together.
I really like this. This might be of the 3. This might actually be my favorite.
Okay.
Okay, you're allowed to have that opinion.
Yeah, I guess it's more of what I expect from a Bourbon County lineup where you do get many variants that are pretty darn sweet. As I mentioned earlier, at least with the 30-year, I didn't know what to say. I think because it was different than anything I'd ever tasted with Bourbon County. This reminds me of more of what you get with Bourbon County.
Agreed.
I get that. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny hearing you guys talk about the sweetness because I'm not getting like super sweet.
Well, that's the fun thing. I mean, I think it was Old Fitzgerald where we all 3 of us said something different about it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun that we're all literally tasting something different with each beer.
It reminds me of like if you take a biscotti cookie, the chocolate covered one, and dip it in some coffee, and then take a bite of that, and that's the aftertaste that I'm getting from it.
If you poured a little bit of coffee Bourbon Stout 2022 into this, a little drop.
Brandon, what coffee Bourbon County's got?
I said this year's, Tony.
And I said, what does Brandon have in his fucking
I don't want
cellar?
peppers in my beer.
Okay, take it easy.
Sorry.
They don't all taste like peppers. Clark, if you had to give this out of 5 cookies, how many cookies would you give this?
4.5.
4.5 cookies. I think that's very nice of you. Brandon, how many cookies are you giving this one?
4.4.
4.4. I like it. I'm
4.4.5, so 4.42.
4.42. 4.92. I'm giving this a 5. This is a 5 for me. This is so far my favorite variant of this year. I really like it, but also that's like it is like my childhood in a glass because I drink a lot of bourbon, I drink a lot of coffee, and I had a lot of biscotti cookies covered in chocolate when I was a kid. So this is like my childhood in a glass.
Well, then next year they'll be making a orange juice and milk popsicle, Bourbon County, because that was my childhood.
Brandon, what was your?
Did they do that?
That's what.
Brandon, what would your childhood Bourbon County taste like?
Tears.
I was gonna say
A little dry.
sadness and regret. This guy's real emo. I don't know if you ever met Brandon. He's super emo. His skin's pale.
Yeah.
He wears eyeliner. His hair's black as night. I mean, literally is holding a cat throughout the entire podcast. A black cat.
It's funny. I'm trying to think of like what dessert was prominent.
Mine would be a Choco Taco. If we could have a Choco Taco Bourbon County, that would be my
No,
jam.
so like my favorite.
Shut up,
Just
Clark.
Shout out to my mom. My favorite cook. It would be like a Kolachki Bourbon County.
Ooh, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Like
you know what? That's my
apricot
dad's.
Kolachki.
Yeah. Your mom, my dad, both Kolachki people. Like that was something I grew up with around the holidays too. Was Kolachkis.
Yeah, just in time for Bourbon County.
Clark, what about you? Come on.
This
Get
is
on.
tasting like Dory's fudge from work.
Oh shit! Shout out to Dory.
Rest in peace.
Maybe.
Happy belated Deli Tray Friday,
Hey,
by the way.
happy belated Deli Tray Friday to you as well,
Thank you,
man. It's
thank
a Thanksgiving, pre-Thanksgiving tradition. If you guys aren't doing it, you should start doing it the Friday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly. Fudge. I keep getting more fudge.
No,
Every time
there
I
is.
keep going back to it.
It's like it smells like fudge.
Yeah.
There is a fudge in like that chocolate is very rich and very heavy, and then I get the biscotti cookie though. Have you guys had many biscottis?
Not that often. I mean, I totally get the biscotti.
The actual cookie? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that's why maybe the fudge was like overpowering, but that chocolate is like the chocolate is rich. Like it's good. Like it's. I mean, to me, it's like a dark cocoa fudginess to it. It's not like super sweet fudgy. But did you get anything? When you just took another sip from your 2020 Bourbon County?
That's actually sort of similar in many ways for me.
Well, it's fun. No, actually,
The contrarian tonight.
well, it's funny because I was saying how I didn't think the biscotti was sweet, and the 2020 Bourbon County is way less sweet than this biscotti.
we must be on different.
Plus, I think I have some type of allergic reaction happening. My eyes are all red and I can barely see. But
You look
know.
fine. You look fine.
Oh, thanks. Because I went into the bathroom. I'm like, looks like I ate an edible.
Laura's gonna pick you up and be like, "What happened?"
Well, she knows because this is how I looked pretty much all day. And then I said, please bring eye drops. Yeah, I find the regular Bourbon County from 2020 a bit more dry than this biscotti one.
Yeah, the adjuncts give it some like heft and some juice.
Ooh. Aggie just did a big stretch. Her legs are up in the air. Acrobatics. She's waving to me and Clark. Well, guys, we didn't do the full, lineup, but I'm sure it's sometime through 2023 we'll probably visit something that we all enjoy.
We'll build half of a media kit.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. But we will probably drink through some of them because it'll be fun to, bring these back on. But I will say, I think we did a good job in picking 3 winners, I would say.
Yeah, I'm proud of the choices that we made. Good
Prop was the other one that we thought maybe we would do, but Biscotti we ended up pulling the trigger on, and Brandon, thank you for pulling the trigger on that. Prop would have been fun to try, but we'll try
So it
eventually.
goes.
So it goes. Sammy, I miss him.
I would love to see a Biscoff Bourbon County.
One day, you know what? If you
French press it.
I mean, okay. Well, now we know what you're doing with your other 2020 Bourbon County you got sitting around. Because, oh my God, now I wish we would have done that. That would have been so good. I'm so angry we didn't do that. I'm going to punch something next to me.
It would be interesting though. I want to try this specific one again, and get some chocolate covered biscotti.
Fun. Side by side. Ooh, yeah.
Bottle of Old Fitzgerald,
Okay.
box of biscotti.
And we need Basil Hayden.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
One bottle each of.
Booker's.
Knob, Basil Hayden, and Baker's.
And then
Easy.
we'll really know if
What we're
Goose
doing.
did a good job. at
Yeah,
making it
Goose.
taste like that.
We'll check in with you then.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else you want to say about these particular beers or the 2022 lineup? Maybe what you're looking forward to other than these, or we kind
I
of
want to get my hands on some 12-ounce bottles.
Yes. So the rumor on that is also there's two things that I've seen. One, there are two different ABVs. There's a higher ABV one because it blends, just like regular Bourbon County. So there's a higher ABV 4-pack and a lower ABV 4-pack, which is probably by 1 or 2%.
Yeah,
not
usually.
a big deal. The other thing I heard, the Easter egg, is that of blended bottle, blended, and then the single bottle is much like the Easter eggs of 2020. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'd like to do that as well. It's just funny because when I saw the price on it, it was like $40, and I was like,
I have a feeling those are going to be hard to come by.
100% because everybody wants to get it because of the nostalgia purposes, which is great, which is fine, and that's cool. If I see it, I want if they are the individual barrels, I will probably buy it. If it is not, not really.
I'll probably still buy it.
I'll dome a 16.9 ounce bottle. You know what I mean?
Dome.
Dome it, bro.
Okay.
What else are you looking forward to, Clark?
I am looking forward to, honestly, regular. I mean, I know we just talked about the 12-ounce bottles of regular, but
Yeah, regular is always a winner to. Are you guys? Well, Brandon, what do you?
I want to try prop just because.
yeah.
It sounds weird, but the reviews I've heard have all been pretty good, so I'm excited to try that.
I'm interested in the Sir Isaacs because Death by Currents from Revolution. I've heard some people compare it to that, but on a different level of it. So I am interested. Brandon, you and I last weekend had the Death by Currents this year from Rev.
Yes.
I saw you look up as your brain was trying to process because you and I did have a bunch of fun beers last Saturday.
Yeah, that was just a drink-a-thon, or was it a...
It was our pop day. No,
nice.
Actually, we didn't.
I saw the check-ins. I'm like, man, that looks
We
lovely.
specifically said we're not going to record it.
Good for you.
We watched Judgment Night and Tommy Boy.
Sounds like a lovely night.
It was.
Drink a 2013 Black Tuesday.
Yeah, that was really impressive for being a 9-year-old beer.
Jeez.
And then finished it off with some 100 proof Heaven Hill.
And I
Who
slept,
doesn't?
I slept like a baby. You know what I mean? It was good. I slept like a baby. Like I said, that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in prop. I had coffee at Fobab. I don't know if I'll necessarily... I think that might sit on the shelf a little bit, so I might be easy to find. But anybody listening to this, if you had any doubt on ones to get, these three for sure, I think everybody should go and get because... God damn it, I guess I'm going to do it.
Yep, here we go. It's time, Tony. Friday's going to come around. You're going to get the itch.
I know. And then I have to put the cream on it, and then I'll go out and buy some Bourbon County.
Exactly. There you go.
All right. With that being said, Clark, always a pleasure.
Nice to be at this house.
Yeah. And thanks for joining us for another Bourbon County episode.
Excellent time, excellent beers.
Also, Dan, sorry we couldn't make this work for you. We were looking forward to it, to having this with you. I don't know about these guys. So like our banter. Brandon, love you, buddy.
Love you too, man.
And everybody, have a happy, safe, healthy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. And go ahead and go out and buy those Bourbon Counties, baby, and let us know what you got and what you like. See you next time.
Bye.
We're gone. I gotta go.
This has been The Malting Hour. Be sure to follow us on all social media by searching The Malting Hour and at themaltinghour.com. You can also follow us individually on social media. Brandon can be found on Instagram as BMDub81, on Twitter, BDub81, and on Untapped as BDubDrinksBeer. Tony can be found on Instagram and Untapped under Ace of Help Chicago, on Twitter, The Ace of Help Chicago. Clark can be found as Clarkowski on all three. Dan can be found on Instagram as hip__hops and hip hops on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, like, and rate the show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Until next time, cheers from all of us at the Malting Hour.